So in this video, we're going to talk about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Have you got what it takes? And we'll talk about some of the skills necessary, but also where you can fill that skill gap, because that's okay. You will have skill gaps and everyone does. Most people aren't experts on everything. So the big question, have you got what it takes to be an entrepreneur? So I can honestly say I don't have all the skills necessary. And most entrepreneurs I know also don't have all the skills necessary. And that's totally okay. It's working out where your gaps in knowledge are so you can fill those gaps. So if I want to set up a jam company, I could fill those gaps because I know that I don't know all the legislation that's needed to be able to get a food product to market. I know that I'm not really that great with social media or social media marketing. I'm also not that great with branding. I don't know what colours go together. I don't know what looks nice as a nice logo. And they're where my gaps are. But what I do know is I make a great jam. I'm good with my finances and with my numbers. And you can just list the things that you're good at. And then the idea is that you can go out there and access that support so you can either yourself develop your own skills so you're better at those parts that you're not so good at, or you can outsource it to other people. Maybe you've got friends, maybe you can develop relationships with mentors who can actually help you and support you and help you develop your skills, but also sometimes take that burden off you a little bit and say, actually, I can do this for you. And that's where you develop relationships with other businesses and potentially you can pay them for their services to help you fill those skills gap at a later date. But where can you actually get support from right now? So the three that I really want to touch on, which would be great places to start, is the NatWest Business Builder, which is an accelerator scheme in the UK. They've got different versions of the accelerator depending on what stage you are. But if you're just coming up with an idea and just trying to advance that idea and things, the best place for you to start is probably the NatWest Business Builder. It's an entirely online program and they've got videos to help you develop every little part of your business, whether that's because you're not confident on the numbers, whether you're not confident on building a brand on social media, or whether it's that you're not as confident on the legislation and things like that, or your accounts. There's an online application and you can go through that process. If you Google it, it'll walk you through it and there's lots of videos there to support you. But what you can get is, it's an opportunity for you to fill your gaps in knowledge. And a really good place to start if you've got an idea that you want to take to market. Another one is Barclays Eagle Labs. They're slightly different and it'll depend on where you're located in the country as to whether there's one accessible to you. But have a research, have a Google, and particularly if you want to build a product, and they might be able to help you prototype that product. But all the information is on their websites and their local labs are on there. Another place, if you're a young person, is the Prince's Trust. The Prince's Trust has lots of resources and they have their own programme that they can put young people through, which will help them develop their idea and take it to market and understand what might work, what might not work, and they can also connect you with mentors, which is a really great opportunity. The most important thing is it's okay not having the knowledge to do everything. Most entrepreneurs set up businesses because they want, either because they really want to fill a gap that they see exists, or because they're really passionate about something and want to do it. And that's totally fine. That doesn't mean they know everything about that area, and it also doesn't mean they know everything about business or everything else. In fact, I've never come across anyone who does. The people who are doing it really well are accessing support and constantly developing their knowledge, and asking other people, asking experts, and that's totally okay. The thing that you've got to do is really look at what skills you're good at and what skills you're not good at, and then once you've done that, then you can work out where those gaps are. But remember, being an entrepreneur is a great journey and it's a great opportunity to learn things you didn't know that you might want to learn. I knew a business and an entrepreneur that set up a clothing company and they were doing really well with it and all the rest of it, but actually what they really enjoyed was photographing the clothing. It was something that they'd never done previously, but something that they got really involved with as they built their company. When they decided to close their company, the photography was something they continued with, and since they've gone into a new role, photography is really heavily involved in it, and that's a skill that they developed when they were running their business because they knew nothing about it when they started. So building a business or just building a business idea is a really good opportunity to start developing those skills. Maybe you'll find that you're really interested in social media and you really enjoy it. This is a great opportunity just to learn, and just work out what it is you want to learn, and learning in a way that works for you, whether that's online or whether that's going to local groups or one-to-one. It's a really good opportunity to learn skills that you potentially haven't learned elsewhere. So yeah, my advice would be to access those support networks, and have a little bit of a research and just working out what where your skills end and where you would like to develop them further.